Hello, I'm Oliver Dixon from Doncaster Music Service. This video is part of a series of videos introducing the Grade 3 ABRSM Cello Syllabus 2020 to 2023. In this video we're going to be looking at Hungarian Stomp by Pam Wedgwood. It's one of my favourites, this one. You'll find it in the official ABRSM Grade 3 printed book or in Jazzing About, which is where it originally was published. I'd like to start by playing you the piece and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Right, let's make some initial observations then. So looking at the music, what is the time signature? And I'm not going to answer these questions for you this time. Look, being grade 3, I'd like you to think of these things yourself. So what is the time signature? What is the key signature? Well, we've got one flat, starts on a D, and the piece also ends on a D. We've got lots of C sharps as well, which might be a clue. What is the tempo marking? 120, so quite quick. I played it just slightly slower than that. And what is the character? Well, we're marked with spirit. All of the dynamic markings have got something to do with forte, and the piano accompaniment is very driving. So coming back to what we said about the key then, it's actually D minor. We've got B flats in the key signature, and then in D minor we've got the sharp and 7th, C sharps, and we've got a lot of those in this piece. So let's start by just getting your fingers moving all the right places. And we'll play a scale of D minor. So we've got D, E, F natural, G, A, B flat, C sharp, and D. So in playing this piece, it's really important to remember that every time you see a B, it's a B flat. And for the C sharps, every time you need to play one, it will have the sharp sign in front of it, reminding you to use a third finger in first position. So like we were saying also, this piece has got a lot of character and it needs to be played with spirit, with some energy. And a big part of capturing that character is playing the rhythms accurately, because they're quite tricky actually, and there's quite a variety in this piece. So let us start by looking at those. Now, the first one we're going to look at, you'll see in bars 3 and 4, which is where you start playing. So we've got a dotted rhythm here, dotted quaver, a semi-quaver, 2 quavers, crotchet, crotchet. Quaver, quaver, minim, crotchet. And that sounds like this. I'll play it and then, you have a go. Okay, so let's try and spot where that rhythm occurs in the piece. We've got it in those first two bars that you play, bars 3 and 4. We've also got it where the tune returns in bar 7 and 8. And I think that's it for that particular rhythm. So don't forget that one. That's important, that's how you start. Next one then, we can see in bar 5. Now, this one occurs quite a few times actually. We've got another dotted rhythm, dotted quaver there on the start, semi-quaver, and then the rest of the bar is quavers, which sounds like this. Can you have a go? So where does that happen then? Well, actually, often, quite helpfully, that rhythm starts on a B flat. So we've got it in bar 5, we've got it in bar 9, we've also got it in bar 15, bar 17. Okay, and the last rhythm we're going to look at is the one you can see in bar 6. We've got 2 quavers, a crotchet tied to another quaver, so that effectively makes it 1.5 beats, and then 3 quavers to end the bar. So that will sound like this. So the important thing with that one is that you don't come off the tied note until after beat 3. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So where can we spot that one? Well, obviously bar 6. We can also see it in bar 19 and bar 21 is just slightly different. We can also see it in bar 23 and bar 24. Let's talk about the articulation in this piece then, because there's a lot of it and it's quite varied. If you look at the start, we've got lots of accent markings over, well, most of the notes on the first line actually, and those are the little arrowhead symbols, sideway arrowhead symbols, and that means to use a forceful bow stroke that's got some bite to it. So make sure it's got that bite and attack on the start of the note. It's just quite forceful, so a quick bow. And also, you might want to try and feel before you start bowing, feel the grip on the string. And then when you move off, you get that slightly percussive sound. If we look further down the piece, we've got a complete contrast on the second to last line. It's marked legato, which of course means to be played really smoothly. So just make sure that you're really smooth with the bow there, don't be jerky, really connect all the notes, and actually the slurs really help to do that. Looking ahead to the last line, we've got a lot of staccato markings, which are the little dots above the notes. Now that means also quite a bitey sort of note, but very short, very, very short. So again, you really want to have a good control of the bow, really on the string. And of course, at the end there, you've got some accents for a big finish. Now the dynamics in this piece, to be honest, are not particularly varied. It's all loud, 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 stomp, stomp, stomp. So where there is a bit of variation, make the most of it. For example, at bar 11 on that middle line there, drop down a bit there, that is a different tune. And then on the line after that, you've got a big crescendo up to the highest point of the piece actually. There. And then you're back to fortissimo. Note-wise, there is one bit that I want to talk about, and it's bar 16. Can you see how you need to get up to an E? which you could play with first finger in fourth position, but because it's so quick and you need to change to and from it so quickly, that's not really feasible. So what I would use is second position. So you play the open A, then put your first finger on the C sharp, then your fourth finger will play the E, it'll just fall under there, and then you can play the D with your second finger, open A, which gives you a chance to move back for the next bar, a B flat. And there you have it. Practice methods for this piece then. Well, go over your rhythms, clap them, just play them on the open strings, maybe play this D minor scale using one of the rhythms. Like that. Also using the scale, you might want to practice your articulation. Really get the bite of the string on the bow. Play it staccato. And as always, start steadily, just start with little chunks, slower in tempo, and gradually build the piece up to where you want it to be. Well, I've really enjoyed making this video. It's still one of my favourite pieces on the graded syllabus. I hope it's been useful in helping you get started with learning the piece, or giving you a few tips and tricks whilst you're learning it. Thank you very much for watching.